All the she-wolves in the pack envied my sister Aurora and me for being mated to the alpha twins. But our mates cut off our mind link when I was 8 months pregnant and we were attacked by rogue wolves. They told us not to disturb them while they saved their stepsister, the one that they truly loved. I lost my child, and my sister can never shift again, becoming an Omega. After confirming that Aurora had also regained consciousness, I immediately sent Alexander a mind link message about severing our mate bond. For 2 straight days, there was nothing but silence from his end. I realized that he had blocked my mind link. Our baby is gone, I finally sent through phone message. Surprisingly, this message triggered an immediate response, and Alexander's angry voice came through the phone. Aria, is this how you act? You don't get responses to your messages, so you decide to get rid of our child? His voice was ice cold with fury. I told you to stay safely in the pack house while carrying my heir, but you had to go wandering off. Then you bombarded me with 9 mind links in a row when I didn't answer immediately. Are you mentally unstable? Serafina was in danger. Her kidnapping almost caused her to lose her pups. What could possibly be more important than saving 2 lives? Let me make this perfectly clear, stop using our child to manipulate me. If you want to terminate the pregnancy, then go ahead. Do whatever you want. Alex, I heard Vicky's weak voice in the background of our link. Don't be angry with your mate. She was just worried about you. This is all my fault. Vicky, this has nothing to do with you. His voice softened before he abruptly cut our call. I lowered my hand from my temple, a bitter smile forming on my lips. Of course. How could I ever compare to precious Vicky in importance? Trying to reach out again would only bring more humiliation. I placed my hand on my now flat stomach, grief overwhelming me. My poor baby had been 5 months along, growing strong with a steady heartbeat. Now it was gone, torn to pieces by those rogue wolves. The pack doctor had told me the wounds were so severe that I might never be able to conceive again. The rogue's claws had damaged my reproductive organs beyond repair. Alexander didn't know this yet. He didn't know that in his quest to save Vicky, he had lost not only his unborn child but any chance of future heirs. The rogue wolves' attack clearing was never random, it was aimed specifically at me, and all because of Alexander. When the rogue wolves surrounded me, their alpha immediately struck me across the face with his claws. I reeled back, dizzy from the blow. Through my disorientation, I heard his snarling voice, "Your mate expelled my entire pack from our territory. We lost everything because of him. Our hunting grounds, our den, everything gone. We heard your mate's brother holds significant territory to the north. Once we have you, he'll surrender those lands to us in exchange." Hearing they only wanted territory, I felt a small surge of relief. At least there was a chance they might spare my baby. But after 9 desperate mind links and only silence, the 10th brought nothing but Alexander's cold rejection. His words stripped away any value I had in the rogue's eyes. I had never known such terror before. I fell to my knees, begging and pleading repeatedly. I would do anything if they would just spare my unborn child. But my pleas meant nothing. The rogue alpha's claws tore into my stomach with savage precision. A pain like nothing I'd ever felt before ripped through me as my blood poured onto the forest floor, warm and sticky. My baby was gone, just like that. Yet only this morning, I had felt those tiny kicks inside me. I began to lose consciousness as my body temperature dropped with each passing moment. Without my baby, I had no will to live anyway. Just as I was surrendering to death, Aurora crashed through the trees. She glanced at my bloodied form and the still active mind-linked connection glowing at my temple. Her face contorted with rage as she screamed, "Why didn't you call me? If I hadn't sensed your pain through our sister bond, what would have happened to you?" She lifted me carefully, frantically sending a mind link to Ethan. "Looking for Vicky. Don't bother me." Those 6 words left her frozen in shock. She tried to call for the pack guards, but we were too far from pack territory for the telepathic connection to work. With no other choice, she half carried, half dragged me through the forest as the rogues pursued us. They caught up quickly. One drove a silver dagger deep into Aurora's abdomen while others bit into her arms and legs. Still, she fought on, protecting me even as silver poison spread through her system. By some miracle, we stumbled upon the border patrol. The rogues scattered, but the damage was done. Perhaps fate had written this ending for us. As I slowly closed my eyes in the pack hospital, the pack healer confirmed what I already knew. My child was gone, torn from my womb by vengeful claws. What I didn't expect was the news about Aurora. The silver had penetrated too deeply into her system. She would never shift again, her wolf permanently suppressed by the poison. She had sacrificed her wolf form, the most sacred part of any werewolf's identity, to save me. Aurora and I lay side by side in the pack infirmary. The room was wrapped in heavy silence. She must have overheard Alexander's furious tirade. Aurora struggled to sit up, then reached over to grasp my hand. Her once vibrant face was now pale as moonlight, drained of color by the silver poisoning. Alexander's cruel words had brought fresh tears to her eyes. Those tears fell onto the back of my hand as she whispered. If only we had never mated to the Alpha twins. She was worried about me, but I was more concerned for her. She had once been the pack's most promising female beta wolf, destined for the elite warrior ranks. Now, because of the silver poisoning that prevented her from shifting, she would be relegated to omega status. I opened my mouth to comfort her when her mate's call came through. My brother says Aria wants to terminate the pregnancy. Did you put her up to this? Can you two stop being hysterical for one day? Ethan's voice crackled through the speaker. And I already told you yesterday that I was tracking the wolves who kidnapped Vicky. It's important. I told you not to disturb me with calls. Are you deaf? I don't know why we mated with you two in the first place. Always plotting together, threatening divorce and termination. Who do you think you're scaring? If you want to leave, then leave. No one is begging you to stay. The call ended abruptly. Aurora just shook her phone and shrugged at me, trying to seem unbothered. But then her eyes filled with tears again. I squeezed her cold hand and said, "Don't be upset. We're alive, that's what matters. Maybe we weren't meant to be together. The moon goddess is showing us we need to separate. Let's just rest for now. When we're stronger, we'll move out. Does that sound okay?" Aurora choked out a simple okay. Finally unable to hold back anymore, tears began to fall in large drops from her eyes. She collapsed against my shoulder, and we held each other, sobbing uncontrollably. Fear, anger, and heartbreak, emotions we had suppressed for too long, were finally released. We had thought we'd found our fated mates, but instead, we'd found nothing but misery. I remember when I first mated with Alexander, the entire pack envied how my sister Aurora and I had mated to the Alpha twins. Two sisters mated to two brothers, that's the moon goddess's greatest blessing, they would say. The perfect double union to strengthen the pack bloodlines. I remembered the day Alexander had performed the mating ceremony. How his eyes had shone with what I thought was love as he marked me. How Ethan had looked at Aurora with the same devotion. How we'd believed the twin alpha sons would protect us always. But the bubble of happiness burst 3 months ago when the twins' stepsister Victoria severed her mate bond with her partner. Alexander began ignoring my calls and spent every night patrolling the borders. Ethan was even worse, drinking heavily every evening and attending endless pack meetings without Aurora. It was only then that my sister and I realized the truth. Our matings had been nothing more than the twins' revenge against Victoria. All their declarations of love, all the promises of forever, nothing but selfish calculations from the twin brothers. They claimed Victoria was just a stepsister, but in reality, she was the one the twins truly loved. How pathetic that Aurora and I had been deceived for so long. We watched silently as they welcomed the newly single Victoria back into the pack house, both brothers suddenly attentive and caring in ways they'd never been with us. Two powerful alphas neglecting their pack duties, ignoring their pregnant mates, showing no concern for their heirs, all while revolving around Victoria like moons around a planet. For 3 months, Aurora and I technically had mates. Yet there were no surprises on special occasions, no flowers, no romance. They were physically present, but their love was nowhere to be found. We overlooked the obvious, their affection had shifted elsewhere. Or perhaps, there had never been any love at all. The moon goddess must have been laughing at our naivety. The healer said the silver has permanently damaged my wolf, Aurora whispered against my shoulder. I'll never shift again. I stroked her hair gently. And I'll never conceive again. Looks like we both lost the most precious parts of ourselves for mates who didn't deserve us. I lay in the hospital bed, scrolling through my phone. Suddenly, I received a video from Victoria. The footage showed her being rescued from her kidnapping, surrounded by Alexander and Ethan's loving attention. The two alphas hovered protectively around her, shielding her from any potential danger. They offered her the pack's most precious healing herbs to restore her strength. She caressed her 7-month pregnant belly while gazing adoringly at Alexander and Ethan. "Thank you, my beloved brothers. You always arrive just in time when danger strikes." The other wolves around them looked on with envy. "Goddess, when will I ever get brothers like that? Victoria is so lucky to have the alpha twins doting on her like this." But a few clearer-minded wolves raised questions. Why aren't the alpha twins Luna's present? I heard Luna Aria was ambushed by rogues. Why didn't Alpha Alexander go save her? Their concerns were quickly buried under an avalanche of admiring comments. Just then, my sister Aurora received the exact same video from Victoria. Her voice was completely flat when she spoke. "Aria, I don't know why, but seeing this doesn't stir any emotion in me anymore. 2 husbands serving 1 wife. If they're so eager for it, let's grant them their wish." I took a deep breath. "You're right. It has nothing to do with us anymore. I'm contacting the Alpha Council right now to dissolve our mate bonds. I can't stand another minute of this, sister." The Alpha Council was remarkably efficient, responding to us within a day and sending us the formal mate bond severance applications. I asked the Alpha Council to deliver these dissolution forms to Alexander and Ethan. But 2 days passed without any response from either of them. The pain was like being cut with a dull blade, and I was the first to lose patience. I sent Alexander a message through our fading. "Have you seen the mate bond severance papers? Give me a response." What I received instead was another round of accusations and insults. "Haven't you caused enough drama? Let me tell you, the more you act like this, the less I want to return to the pack house. Stop sending me messages to test my patience." I could only respond with silence. How had I never noticed Alexander's absurdly narcissistic side before? I was about to explain myself when Victoria's sickeningly sweet voice filtered through the call. "Alex, darling, what are you doing? Dinner's ready. Ethan and I have been waiting for you forever." Alexander quickly stepped onto a balcony, thinking it would muffle the connection. I couldn't help but mock. "No wonder you have no time to handle our matters. You're too busy entertaining your dear sister." Alexander jumped like a wolf with its tail caught in a trap. "Aria, what is wrong with you? Will this never end? Victoria is carrying a pup and needs care. I'm just helping her out. Besides, she doesn't know how to cook, unlike you." At the mention of a pup, my previously calm demeanor shattered instantly. "A pup? You dare speak about caring for someone else's pup? What about your own pup, Alexander? Did you ever care for me? Did you ever care for your own child?" Alexander's tone grew increasingly hostile. "This is ridiculous." Victoria chose that moment to chime in with a laugh. "Sister, we're both pregnant women. I understand you. Pregnancy hormones can really affect emotionally unstable people. Obviously blessed mothers like me are rare, but don't be too sad, sister. After all, it's all for the pups, right?" Every word she spoke was like a blade piercing my heart. I completely lost my strength, the wound on my stomach burning with pain as my breathing became irregular. Meanwhile, Alexander agreed with her on the other end. "Don't worry about her. Vicky, your health is most important. Whenever you need anything, I'll come immediately." Hearing this, I couldn't breathe. Tears slid down my cheeks. He had never truly cared about me. In our 2 years as mates, what was I to him? A disposable dog he could ignore at will? Before I could speak again, Alexander severed our mind-link connection. Pain engulfed me like a flood, and I broke down sobbing. Aurora rushed to embrace me, soothing. "Aria, sweetie, don't waste tears on such trash. Perhaps your baby knew this wasn't the right time to enter this world. Maybe it understood what an unreliable father it would have had. It doesn't matter if they ignore us. We'll go directly to the Alpha Council and expose their behavior. We'll request a forced mate bond severance."